Well, one of Gauteng's largest youth arts festival, Basha Uhuru Freedom Festival, is set to take place at Constitutional Hill today. The event brings thousands of young people to celebrate Youth Month together in a secure and intellectually stimulating environment. Performing artist Gyre and curator Lesole Taueatswala joins me now to tell us more about this year's installment. Lesole and Gyre, thank you so much for joining us on the Weekend Report. Let's start with you, Lesole. I just described the festival as a coming together of the epitome of entertainment and intellectual stimulation. How on earth did you manage to bring those two parts together?
I mean, that's a very good question. I mean, creativity has been part of the youth, especially, in South Africa, and especially in terms of, platforming themselves and really speaking their mind on what they want. So, so how the festival comes together, Basha Uhuru was, founded in 2012, and it was really a call and response to, the youth of 1976, to say the youth of this country have propelled the country forward, especially through creativity. So the festival is really that aspect, of, activism. That's what you call it, activism and art, to say, this is what the youth are doing. Let's platform them. Let's give them the space to really express themselves.
Now, you've managed to grow your crowds from about 2,000 in the early days to roughly close to 10,000. How on earth did you manage to do that? I mean, what is the pull? What is the thing that is bringing all the young kids to Basha Uhuru?
I mean, I think community, underpins everything that, we do at Constitution Hill, to say, especially the youth. The youth are really, good at, starting their own movements and keeping momentum of their movements. So what we're really doing is that we're saying, hey guys, here's a platform, because the youth are already doing things out there, So, yeah.
So when Gyre, when Lesole talks about the youth are already doing it, the youth are already, part of the movement, you are absolutely a part of all of that in your creativity, in your own version of activism. Talk to us about your artistry and your own journey, I suppose, to the creative personality, artist that you are today.
Well, that has been a whole process of self-actualization that has culminated into who I am right now, from going from a point where my art is very declaratory in nature to where now I believe that my existence is resistance, and understanding that fine line between being an artist and being an activist, and knowing that my personhood is good enough to make a statement, and I needn't do over and above anyone else in order to express that, in order to platform the issues that speak to my community. And so it's been a very interesting process of intertwining both the need to speak important messaging, but also to entertain, because we're entertainers.
Of course. What do you say to people who are so critical of young people today, and some of the criticisms, off the top of my head, young people are directionless, young people are completely uninvolved and clueless as to what's happening in the world around them, and yet here we are, we've got an entire music festival that is really geared towards activism, which speaks to a youth cohort that does know what's going on, that is involved, that is actively trying to participate in change. What do you say to those people who almost seem kind of out of place and not entirely connected with what the reality is for young people?
Well, I believe it's quite an unintelligent way to understand people, in the sense that you are not actually understanding the individuality of everybody, and it's not a good thing to homogenize our experience. If anything, youth has been more engaged with the world around them because of social media. And I think it's so important that we're able to then understand our youth for what they are right now, and not use the lens that has passed in order to engage with how they engage with the world in the contemporary way that it is right now. I think what's important is to empower the youth with the abilities to be accountable to themselves, because accountability is what's going to make the change, whether that's with regards to homophobia, whether that's with regards to rape culture, GBV. People are able to be accountable to themselves, and if they are able to do that, they can be accountable to their society. And so I think maybe we ought to have more intelligent conversations, and not conversations that happen for the sake of it. Fluff ain't gonna get you nowhere, sweetheart.
Right, so Lesole, today is D-Day. All roads point to Cornhill. You've got an extremely packed lineup, a very versatile, very diverse lineup of artists. Talk to us about curating that entertainment space and what you're hoping anyone who heads out to Cornhill today will experience.
Actually, just to backpedal to the youth comment that you made, that a lot of people are saying, the youth of the country are uninvolved.
Of course.
Actually, so the music festival, so the music aspect of the festival is just the highlight. So if you come today on site, you will see that we have a market that is 100% SMMEs owned by the youth. So what Constitution Hill via Basha Uhuru, what we are doing, we have the Creative Uprising Hub, which is a studio space that is leased to medium and small enterprises, but in the creative sectors by the youth. So yeah, people who say the youth are involved are just people who are not looking where the youth are, and are people who are not involving the youth, in key strategic decision-making, processes. Anyway, for people who be coming to Constitution Hill, the lineup is packed. We have 4 headliners. We have Zintle, we have Shekina, we have Something Soweto, and we have more than 19 acts, of which Gyre is also going to be performing. So if you're coming, look out for Gyre. So yeah, it's going to be a day filled with, art exhibitions, music, and market for food, clothes. It's everything across the board. So people must be ready to experience, creativity and youth in action at Constitution Hill.
I love it. Gyre, you already seem to be in the mood, in the zone. What can lovers of your offering expect from you today?
So much is going to be happening today. I'm going to be debuting 2 records, specifically one with LTO and another with Yolophonic. I'm so excited for the process as I begin to show people my growth into Sport Gyre as an artist. So excited for what's to come. Little glimpses of work that I'm working on, perhaps even on the Koli Vogue opera, who knows. But just stay tuned and stay engaged with everything that's going to be happening. Have fun. Most importantly, have fun. And let's get more queer people in these kinds of space, because you know what? We got it, honey.
Well, thank you so much to both of you for joining us today and completely making my day. I loved both of you. That is artist Gyre and curator Lesole Taueatswala.